Hi, I'm Wanhee, and when I was in my 20s, I didn't care about getting good sleep. I could party until 6 and hit the gym the next day. But as I got older, I realized this was a big mistake. As I neglected my sleep, my life began to fall apart. Not only was I always tired, I started making bad decisions with food, and I developed these kinds of bad habits. And in the end, I even got back pain. So I'm not exaggerating when I say bad sleep could be one of the things that's holding you back most in your life. For instance, from looking like this and feeling like this. And this video is going to show you how I fixed my sleep so you can do the same. Let's get into it. The first practical tip I have for you is don't set an alarm to wake up like everyone else does. Just set a sleep alarm, or what I call the wind down alarm. So I have an alarm at 10:30 p.m. on my phone, and that's my cue to just shut down the screens, stop work, and go into wind down. And because I've been doing this for long periods of time, now when it gets to that 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m. range, I naturally feel kind of anxious to close everything and to prioritize preparing for sleep. So it's a completely different mindset. When you start focusing on setting that sleep alarm as opposed to a wake up alarm, it will naturally make you care more about sleep, but it's also going to make you wake up naturally at the right time because you're sleeping at a good time and your body falls into this nice circadian rhythm. You'll feel sleepy at the same time each day. You'll wake up naturally at the same time. It's absolutely a game changer. And look, it's 100% free. The next thing is what I call deserving your sleep. Most people that complain about, oh, I don't feel sleepy enough, I can't fall asleep. One of the things they don't do is they don't deserve their sleep. If you actually exert yourself during the day with physical exercise, with weight training, for instance, with some sports that elevate your heart rate, this will naturally make you feel tired and sleepy and deserving of sleep. But if you don't do anything like that and you're just lounging around being a useless couch potato, then usually you're just, stuffing yourself full of dopamine by the time you're about to fall asleep, and no wonder you don't feel tired. What is a practical tip that's going to help you deserve sleep is exercise in the AM. Somewhere between like 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. would be ideal. But of course, people that wake up early and have to go to their job, then you can do it earlier as well. Anywhere in the AM to early PM. The reason I say don't do this high heart rate or heavy lifting closer and closer to bedtime is that it does increase your heart rate, increase cortisol, and it makes it hard to sleep. For instance, I did jiu-jitsu very close to bedtime and I couldn't fall asleep for hours because my heart rate was so high. Exercise in the AM or the early PM and deserve your sleep. Those two tips alone will help your sleep like up to 50%. Now let's get on to the rest of it. The next tip is going to be a game changer. It's called double blackout. I invested in blackout curtains in my room, and that was a game changer. Not only did it elevate my sleep quality, like getting more deep sleep, getting more REM sleep, it just allowed me to fall asleep better because it was dark. We don't understand that light just keeps us awake, and I was sleeping with these mediocre lights just coming in. When I put the curtains up, there was still light coming through, and I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna get myself an eye mask and literally bring the curtains to my eyes. And I've been using eye masks inside a blacked out room, and this double blackout method absolutely keeps me just in the deepest sleep of all. And this is a very, very good time to introduce the sponsor of today's video, which is Manta Sleep. And I've been using these guys for literally 2 years now. I've been using it in hospital where the lights are so much. When I went to travel in London and I was sleeping in a house that it was not mine. When I travel on the plane and I want to fall asleep. And the reason these things work is because they have these cups, and the cups mean that the eyes don't get pressed by the fabric, which I never liked about the eye masks, for instance, that they give on the plane. So these eye cups, this one's made in silk, this one's the classic normal version, they just allow you to stay really comfy, and you can adjust the straps so it's not too tight, not too loose, and it looks pretty good. This one's made in silk, it's super comfy, and it's been a game changer for my sleep. So let's say installing blackout curtains is a little too pricey, or you just don't want to go through the hassle. The easiest way is just bring the blackout curtains to your face, and this alone is going to massively improve your sleep, and it's super versatile. You can pack it anywhere. If you want to get one of these, then you can use the code WANHEE to get 10% off at checkout. Great stuff. Let's get on to the next point. The next is
El Nino, this airflow that comes from Hawaii and Canada.
I realized that temperature and airflow affect my sleep quality a lot more than I thought. Sometimes in Korea, it gets pretty damn humid, and the humidity and the sweat rubs the wrong way with the cotton mattress, and you keep waking up because of the trapped heat. So I realized that I sleep really well in a more cool environment, so temperature kind of 26.5 degrees, so I set my air conditioning to that. I might even have a fan going, doing this with its head. It's not good to have direct fan in your face, so that kind of gentle breeze created by the fan. And I like to sleep with the door slightly open and the window slightly open, so there's some kind of airflow but not much noise coming from the outside. right? So you want to be setting these little things in your favor, like temperature and airflow. If you wanted to invest in different gadgets that control the temperature of your mattress, or air purifiers, air humidifiers to make the air as good as possible, these are all smart investments that will help your sleep quality. But if you can't do that, just the simple way is to have some kind of fan or air conditioning in the room to keep the temperature low and to create some airflow. By the way, everybody functions differently with this. You might prefer to have your room and windows completely shut. You might prefer to have it slightly warmer. This you got to find out, but temperature and air control affects your sleep for sure. Next, most people that struggle with sleep just don't prioritize it enough. And usually it takes a health scare. It takes a back pain or a family member with a really serious health condition or your own health condition. It takes a big episode of pain for you to realize, wow, sleep is the way to fix my injury, my inflammation. The cells that fight cancer cells get reduced when you get bad sleep. Okay, I think they're called natural killer cells. When you don't sleep, your dopamine plummets, so you feel less motivated and just generally less happy. When you sleep bad, your fat mobilization is impacted, your muscle repair is impacted, so you basically get fatter and lose muscle, to put it in extreme terms, or you don't make gains and lose fat as easily as you would if you got good sleep. So all of these things added up should make you think, wow, sleep matters a lot, and if I don't get good sleep, I'm really shooting myself in the foot, and therefore I want to sacrifice things to better my sleep. I want to say no to certain engagements for the sake of my sleep. And everyone that gets good sleep does this. They say no to like these binge drinking alcohol nights. Okay, maybe once on New Year's you might do it, and a lot of the things that I've done to improve my sleep is literally me just saying, you know what, sleep is more important than X. That's literally it. Yeah, I want to stay up and watch freaking Netflix. I want to stay up and keep scrolling. I want to go out and have a couple drinks and just like stay out till 1 a.m. talking to people in the bar. Like, I want to do all those things. But yeah, I care about sleep a little bit more to say no to those things. Now, to some young guys watching this, you might be like, what the hell are you talking about? That makes no sense. I'll never do that. Well, that's what I used to say. But now I've realized, oh my God, look at the amount of progress that I could have made if I signed up to this kind of way of thinking earlier. Okay, so be smart, take my advice, and prioritize sleep over other things, which means committing to it and saying no to things that detract from your sleep quality. Next, anything that lowers cortisol will help you sleep, because when you're trying to fall asleep, cortisol has to go down and melatonin has to go up. And when you're waking up, melatonin goes down and cortisol goes up, and you wake up and you stay alert and focused in the morning. When you want to fall asleep, what are you doing? You're lowering heart rate and cortisol. So what does that mean? Don't do crazy exercise like we talked about. Don't eat crazy food near bedtime, because that's going to elevate your heart rate as well. And don't be checking your emails and doing things that spike your stress and cortisol late at night. Do things that reduce it. What reduces stress for you close to bedtime? Warm showers, maybe meditation, maybe just closing screens and talking with the family, maybe just jumping on the phone with a friend that you really like, maybe reading a book, maybe listening to a podcast, whatever it is that lets you go in that kind of low heart rate, like chill, vibing mode. That's what you want to do. This actually spikes your dopamine, and the screens and the lights are too much, so it's keeping you awake, obviously. So don't be doing the scrolling in bed. That's probably obvious. I didn't put that point in there because scrolling in bed, stopping people from falling asleep, it's like the most obvious point you should avoid, because blue light keeps you up, and you probably know all that, right? Next, I got myself a sleep tracker, and I was tracking these sleep data. I was loving it because, like I always say, if you want to improve something, you want to track it so you know which behaviors lead to good, which behaviors lead to bad, so you do less of the bad and more of the good. It makes sense, right? If you don't track it, you don't know that the glass of wine is going to plummet your sleep score. Now I know, because I drank the wine, I saw the sleep score plummet, and I'm like, okay, if I eat close to bedtime and drink wine, it's going to suck. So I don't do it. So it's important to track and get that feedback loop in place so your sleep improves. But what also wound up happening is that sometimes when the sleep score was low, I would almost assume that the day was going to be bad because I had bad sleep, so today I'm going to be shit. Or I would start to feel guilty. I would feel really bad and stressed about the fact that I didn't get the good sleep score, and that was actually impacting my daily life and creating more stress in an otherwise busy life that already had enough reasons to be stressed about. So you don't want to be creating extra like guilt and stress by over tracking and obsessing, but it is good to have some kind of feedback loop so you start to understand which behaviors lead to good sleep, which behaviors to bad sleep. Just like I say, track your weight when you want to lose it, so you know which activities will make you gain weight and which activities are making you lose weight. Next, if you lower your body fat, naturally you will have better quality sleep and you will snore less. You want to be lifting weights, you want to be lowering your body fat. That's really what's going to make you generally healthy overall as a person, which will help you fall asleep better as well. And if you want to know exactly how I do that myself in terms of build muscle and lose fat, check out Aesthetic Body Blueprint, because it's just the perfect thing you can throw in the AM to deserve your sleep, to get healthy, to build muscle, to lower your body fat, so that you actually become healthy and strong and get good sleep. So that wraps up the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this at night, cut that out, get some sleep, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.